Welcome back to another edition of Special Situations Investing with me, Greg, your host. And today we are talking about 8 different characteristics of a special situations investment. Check it out. Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of my YouTube channel on special situations investing and my personal investing practice. As a quick disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. Any companies that I mention in this presentation are discussed solely for illustrative purposes. Discussing such companies and the specifics about them is to help educate me and educate you about certain special situations. It is not a solicitation to purchase them. I recommend that you conduct your own research and identify why you might want to own the company yourself prior to your committing of any funds. I also recommend that you seek the services of a financial advisor that has considered your personal situation as your fiduciary. And then finally, may your education here grow your knowledge, improve your personal investing performance, and give you the confidence to take control of your future. Thanks a bunch for watching. Now on to the video. Today I will be talking about Maurece Schiller's special situations investing characteristics. His characteristics are found in this book, Special Situations, The Investor's Guide to Special Situations Investing in the Stock Market. And you can pick up a copy. You can definitely use the affiliate link below to help me out if you ever want to support my channel. Thank you so much for that if you do that. But anyway, this book, he goes over the characteristics of what a special situations investor is looking for in his special situations investing practice. So, what are the characteristics? A special situation is based on a corporate action. And these corporate actions can be various things, but usually they change something about the corporate structure of the target company. They change the debt structure, they change the equity structure, or they might change the operations structure of the company by spinning off or relieving the company of certain divisions. You can find them in tender offers, you can find them in spin-offs, you can find them in liquidations, bankruptcies, you can find them in conversions, like in a thrift conversion for a bank. And really the point is that they have a time associated with these special situations. And after the special situation has occurred, the corporate event has significantly changed or gradually changed the overall capital structure of the company. The second characteristic of a special situation is that it has calculable capital gains. So in order to have a truly specific capital gain, you have to know what the company should be worth after the special situation. This is really easy with tender offers and the like, because if you have the tender offer or maybe even a liquidation, you can identify how much the company should be worth after the participant puts their money into the special situation. Sometimes it's a little bit more based on your own analysis, like when you get into spin-offs and post-bankruptcy transactions. Sometimes you kind of have to do an assessment of what the company would be worth over the long term. However, that's the second characteristic, is that you have a pretty good idea or a definite idea of how much you should be getting out of this investment. The third characteristic of a special situation is that all the facts are available. So in the United States, at least, and many of the first world countries around the world that have a robust legal structure around their public markets, you do have, with special situations, you do have regulatory requirements to share the information about the special situation. However, even if you didn't have those regulatory requirements, often managements would be motivated or incentivized to disclose the information of what they're doing in order to get people to participate in them. And this is actually one of the things you have to think about when you're looking at a special situation, is to try to see what the management team is doing, because sometimes they may be doing something that is contrary to what they recommend, and the contrary action might be more valuable to the ongoing investor. The fourth characteristic of a special situation is that it does not depend on market trends for the price appreciation or the price realization of the target company. Because price is often disclosed for many special situations, like tender offers and liquidations, and even for mergers and such, you do have an idea of identifying what the target price should be. And that means that the price of the target company will probably not move as much as the overall general market during that time, because it's going to be focused around that disclosed price. You should note on this one that according to Maurece Schiller, the true special situation is one that can be bought at a discount of what the target price should eventually garner for the would-be investor. Number 5, the holding period is either disclosed or can be estimated. So often with like a tender offer, you will have a disclosed date, and usually it's about a month away from the time that it was originally announced to the time that it is completed. The other thing is maybe like a spin-off, they may at the end of fourth quarter identify However, sometimes you may only be able to estimate how long your money will be in this special situation. For example, for like a spinoff, at the end of a fourth quarter, a company may announce that they are going to have a spinoff of a certain division in the next 2 or 3 quarters. And so they may announce that we expect that this spinoff should occur sometime next year after the second half of the year, or sometime in the second or third quarter of next year. A sixth characteristic of special situations is that the focus is on capital gains. This means that if there are dividends associated with the company involved, that those dividends are lumped together when you calculate the value of the special situation. This does not mean that you lump them together when you pay your taxes on the target special situation, but it does mean that when you are determining whether or not it is a good special situation or not, is that you identify how much of a capital gain you should expect for the special situation as you participate in it. The seventh point, or seventh characteristic of a special situation according to Maurece Schiller, was that it had an automatic elimination period. And this is based around the corporate event. And the advantage of this automatic elimination, is the way that Maurece Schiller talks about it, is that it eliminates a lot of the psychological concerns that revolve around investing in the stock market. And this is really important because most of our really good investors throughout the world, Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Maurece Schiller, you can go back to Ben Graham, and all of these investors, one of the things that they often talk about is how emotions can get into the market, and they can cause you to do things that may not necessarily be the best decision for you overall. With an automatic elimination point, like Maurece Schiller talks about, it does allow you to automatically have a reason why you're going to take the money out or why you may leave the money in. But it does avoid some of the long-term problems that you might have with investing in a company that, it may have a really bad quarter here or there. The eighth and final characteristic of a special situation, according to Mr. Schiller, is that the risks are minimized. And he goes over a couple of things, but in reality, he wants a situation that has a high probability of success. And when you have a high probability of success, the risks can be minimized overall, and you're able to put more money into it and generate better returns. Some of the things that allow us to do that is that we have back to those original ideas, is you have full disclosure of the information up front. You have a known return that you should be expecting to get out of the special situation. And then finally, you also have the ability to have a time frame when it ends. Now, there's other reasons that can be involved in this, but this is just a summary of what I've seen with Maurece Schiller's things. Now, on to why I think that this is important. So the last couple of weeks, I've spent some time investing in Box.com. And Here's the thing. Box.com does not meet all the criteria and characteristics of a special situation. The announcement has not necessarily been made of what the price will be when they go ahead and repurchase shares. So I am actually risking more when I go ahead and participate in this. And one of the viewers a couple of weeks ago pointed out that it could be that Box.com has a really bad quarter, and so they were able to repurchase shares at a lower price. If you look back at my original investment thesis on Box.com, you can kind of see where that is definitely a possibility because there's a larger investor that's involved in it. With that in mind, I only have about 5% of my investment portfolio in Box.com for participation in their upcoming Dutch tender offer that will probably happen next month. Let's look at some other things that I've looked at where I've deviated again from these characteristics of special situations investing according to Maurece Schiller. On my shift holdings. So I invested back, it's almost about half a year now in Shift during their warrant exchange program, and I went ahead and had a pretty good return on the capital that I pulled out of it. However, I've continued to hold the shares, and part of the reason is I've reviewed Shift and I've looked at the company over time, and I think that Shift might be a good long-term investment. And the reason why I see that is because I like to read books that give other perspectives and other views, and one of the books that I've reread recently, and I think Shift is a good example of, it goes along with Chris Mayer's 100 Baggers. And if you have not read this book, I would highly recommend that you take a look at it because it gives some really interesting statistics and data on helping people identify where they might be able to park their money in order to receive 100 to 1 on the investment of what they have. If you want me to talk about Shift's long-term prospects, please go ahead and comment in the section below, and I will go ahead and answer any questions that you may have on Shift and my perspective on it. Finally, some of you that have been watching me for a while, you noticed that I didn't sell my AMCX shares right away. And part of that was that prior to investing in the special situation for their Dutch tender offer, I'd identified that the company should have been worth a little bit more. I went ahead and held on to those shares, and I'm glad I did. I wish I had held on to all of them because I turned a pretty decent profit with that. And again, if you want to see the links of how I did that in the description, I'll go ahead and make sure that there are links in this below or in. The third one is I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with AMCX. I received a significant amount of return from participating in that tender offer. It was a Dutch tender offer back last fall. And had I spent a little bit more time on it, I think I would have left my money in that company for a little bit longer, and I would have reaped a pretty decent reward. I recommend that you look at Maurece Schiller's or anyone's, or even my own investment perspectives, and always make sure that you have your own viewpoint on them, because you may be able to find that you earn more money considering your own thoughts than looking at what I do. Anyway, guys, I hope this helps you identify your own special situations investment and reground you if you're looking at a special situations investment and you're not quite sure how you're going to participate in it. And you want to make sure that you're not making mistakes or trying not to make mistakes. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. I've really appreciated all the encouragement and work from the people that have come in and posted with me over time. If you would like to support my channel even further, please use the affiliate links below to purchase your own copy of the books that I mentioned, or hit the like button. It's a free way to just let people know, and the YouTube algorithm for that matter, know that this is valuable content for those people around you. Finally, if you do have any comments, please let me know, and I do my best to answer them every single time someone comments below. And we'll catch you next week. Thanks a bunch.